How neutral is then think again? I am not a native English speaker, and in some cases particular phrasing can sound neutral to me but actually be rude, and vice versa. I always thought that think again in phrases like, if you think that, then think again, is something if not rude but at least passive-aggressive. But recently I've encountered a lot of examples of think again that put my this is rude hypothesis in question. For instance, if you think the influencer's penchant for big lips reflects a modern beauty fad, then think again. Or, but if the song sets you up to expect some kind of concerted attempt at a pop crossover, is John Legend moment, let's say, then think again. So, my question is, how much then think again is neutral? Can I, for instance, use it in corporate communications?
Think again is just an established set phrase, meaning you are mistaken. I will tell you what you should be thinking. It's not always an arrogant usage. Nobody would be annoyed by an advert saying something like thought you couldn't afford a Rolls Royce. Think again. But it's typically used in contexts like if you think you can pull the wool over my eyes then you can think again, for example, a teacher or similar talking down to his charges. It reminds me of you've got another think coming, which I'd say is always somewhat contemptuous. I'd certainly advise non-native Anglophones to avoid it unless they're absolutely certain their target audience won't resent having whatever they currently think casually dismissed like that.
If you think again is safe for work, think again. In AME, think again is a form of finger-wagging or confrontation when it's used directly person to person rather than in contexts like the Rolls-Royce example Fumble Fingers gave, where you'd be happy to learn you'd been wrong. I can afford one after all. I can think of very few situations at work where that phrase would go over well, especially in situations where you really want to use it. If you think I'm going to work this weekend because you've been dragging your feet hiring a replacement for Bob, think again. If you think my direct reports are going to be happy with a 1% raise when I've given them consistently exceeds expectations on their quarterly reviews, think again. I don't think it's used as follows, merely to say that someone is wrong about a fact. If you think Messi scored 2 goals in that game, think again. But I would agree with Fumble Fingers that it's about what the other person should be thinking, in the sense that the phrase is typically used to confront someone about their attitude and behavior. I've been asked to say whether I think the expression is sometimes arrogant. I suppose it could be arrogant sometimes. But I know that it is probably imprudent to use this expression at work, when it is used in the confrontation mode rather than the you will be happy to learn you are wrong mode. And that is the case whether it is used with a superior or with a coworker on your own level or with a subordinate.
Ich wasche Putzschau, während ihr Lachen tradet.